And now we return.
Y el tiempo para gastarlos, America. Vistala is here.
Audi has created a new car. They started here with the 100 LS and kept all the features that make it a lot of cars for the money, such as front-wheel drive like the Cadillac Eldorado, the same head and leg room as the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. They eliminated little things like chrome trim and deluxe wheel covers and created the Audi 100. A lot of cars for even less money. In fact, there's never been a lower price than your local dealer is offering right now.
A cop tells his story in the new Centurions. Rated R.
At a selected theater or drive-in near you. KNXT, Channel 2.
A multiplication, that's the name of the game, and each generation.
It would be a tragedy for anyone to make their judgment on November 7th on the basis of an issue that Senator Eagleton and I have long ago put behind us, and we've moved on to what are the real issues before this country.
Right, and one more dimension of it, sir. In a recent AP interview released today, you said, quote, when asked if you would run again, I would say that if we can't defeat Richard Nixon with the issues as sharply drawn as they are in 1972, somebody else ought to try next time, unquote. Senator, 4 years from now, would you support a ticket headed by or including Tom Eagleton?
Well, let's not pick the candidate right now. In the first place, I think I'm going to be elected on November 7th. I think Sergeant Shriver and I are going to make it. We're not going to look at such dismal prospects as the possibility of another 4 years under the Nixon-Agnew administration. We're thinking about victory on November 7th, not about what we're going to do in 1976.
Senator, is that based on a hope and a prayer? Is there any evidence at all of that outside of the polls that you're going to be elected? We have 15 seconds.
It's based on my essential faith in the common sense and the decency of the American people. I think they want to change for the better. I think they're going to get that in a Democratic victory on November 7th.
Well, we must end on that note. I'm sorry to interrupt, but our time is up. Thank you, Senator McGovern, for being with us today on Meet the Press. I'll tell you about next week's special edition of Meet the Press in just a minute after this message.
This is the kind of driving that made Bill Hannibal a national truck rodeo champion. These truck rodeo maneuvers aren't much different from what he faces every day in traffic as an Inco truck driver. In fact, he's faced them for 10 years and for over 300,000 accident-free miles. Inco supports annual truck rodeo competitions because they encourage safe driving. And we feel pretty good about a rodeo champ handling our horsepower.
For a printed copy of today's interview, send 10 cents in coin in a stamped self-addressed envelope to Merkel Press, Box 2111, Washington, D.C. 20013.
Next Sunday, Meet the Press will interview the Secretary of State, William P. Rogers, and the Secretary of the Treasury, George P. Schultz, in separate segments of a full-hour special program. Join us at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 Central Time on most of these stations. Please check your local listings for the exact time in your area. Now, this is Lawrence Spivak saying goodbye for Senator George McGovern, our panel, and Meet the Press.
Today's special edition of Meet the Press has been brought to you by Enco and by Allstate Insurance Companies. For insurance to protect your car, your home, your life, health, and business, too. Talk to the good hands people. The NBC News team will play key roles to keep you informed on election night. Garrick Utley will cover the United States Senate races. Catherine Mackin will report the gubernatorial contest. and Edwin Newman will cover the House of Representatives competition. Join co-anchormen John Chancellor and David Brinkley and the award-winning NBC News team when live continuous coverage begins Tuesday, November 7th with the NBC Nightly News at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, and 3:30 Pacific Time right here on NBC. This is Lee Dayton speaking. Meet the Press has been a public affairs presentation of NBC News and has come to you live from our studios in Washington, D.C.
On the thousands of polling places around the nation, vote totals go into a new computer system. For instantaneous results, reported and explained by Chancellor and Brinkley, stay with NBC News Election Night. Coverage begins with NBC Nightly News.
Stelvio, northern Italy. A mountain road more challenging than any test track, with 48 turns like this. Today it's closed. Here's why. This standard Mercedes-Benz is taking the Stelvio road all out. A demonstration of performance that goes far beyond ordinary standards. Fully independent suspension. Anti-sway bars front and rear. And four-wheel disc brakes. Unconventional, defiantly so. But Mercedes-Benz has never built conventional cars, and never will.
Nobody makes malt liquor like Schlitz. Nobody.
KABC-4 Los Angeles.
The following NBC sports program is brought to you in living color.
This afternoon, we bring you an American Conference game between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets from Shea Stadium in New York. Brought to you by your Chrysler Plymouth dealer, highlighting Plymouth Satellite for 1973. And by Firestone, the people tire people who put steel between you and tire trouble. Namath to the air, safety blitz on, and down he goes. Ricky Harris had the safety blitz on, but it was number 66, the blitzing left side linebacker, Wyzakowski, who throws Namath for the loss.
And another look at it, Namath going back. And there's a little foul up in their own backfield, which accounted for a part of it. And you'll see Ricky Harris, 25, coming in from the safety spot.
They're going to let this one bounce, and it touchdown passes, but has gained more than 1,000 yards. Jerry Philbin, 81, John Little, 57, John Elliott, 80, Mark Lomas, 84, the front four for the Jets. Third down and 7 from the 5. At the 48, and he is in trouble. Spins away from 2 men. Josh Ashton gets an arm on him and throws him down. Ashton made the saving stop, and others helped out at the 42. It'll be 1st and 10 Jets. As from Shea Stadium in New York, we paused here with 8:58 to go in the first quarter. The score, the Jets nothing and the Patriots nothing.
Hey, did you ever want to own your own business? Boy, I did. And I do. That's it. I'm Mike. You know how it happened? I was cashing a check, putting some money in my savings down at the bank. It's one of those full-service banks. And I got talking to the teller, you know, about wanting to get into business for myself. And next thing I know, she introduces me to her vice president, Mr. O'Brien. Wow, things began to happen. First, he put me in touch with some real estate people. Then he got me construction financing. Terry, take care of those 2 customers. Then he helped me with the mortgage. Even my bookkeeping. I guess that's why they're called full-service banks. Right, Mr. O'Brien? My banker. He's keeping me in business.
All across the country, in 14,000 different banks, helping is our business.
From 20 yards out, Gogolak's kick is good. And with 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the first quarter at Shea Stadium in New York, the heavily favored New York Jets find themselves trailing the New England Patriots by virtue of a 20-yard field goal, 3-0.
We asked people if they would stop and help you if you had tire trouble on the road. Here's what they said.
No, I stay out of other people's business.
No, I might cause an accident.
Oh, no. Unless it's someone I know.
Absolutely not. I never stop for anyone.
Now you know why Firestone wants to put steel between you and tire trouble. With the Firestone 500 steel belt, the people tire, that puts 2 strong belts of steel cord right under the tread. Steel so strong, it can roll over road junk like this and keep right on rolling. Let Firestone put steel between you and tire trouble.
Park on a cloudy, mild October afternoon. Charlie Gogolak will kick off to Rocky Turner, 29 nearest to you. Barasopoulos at a 51-yard return on the opening kickoff across the way. Pats. Jets have the ball on their own 27, first down 10. Ed Bell comes to the left. Maynard goes to the right. Namath throws and has his man. Crowd at Shea Stadium somewhat subdued. The Jets are trailing 3-0. They were favored by better than 2 touchdowns. Namath on third down 10. Retreats, has time.
Maynard making a good move, coming back toward his passer. Rifle-like arm, putting that ball right on target. Down low, making
a ball game by a field goal, 3-0.
Extra care in engineering. It makes a difference in Chrysler Corporation cars. Introducing the new age of automotive electronics. Electronic ignition, now standard on every Chrysler Corporation car built in this country. Helps you start, cuts maintenance costs. A digital electronic clock available on some models. Electronics, extra care in engineering. It makes a difference in Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge. Discover the difference. Switch one on.
This is a totally different kind of razor blade. It makes shaving easy. Now, I wouldn't dare do this with an ordinary blade, but Wilkinson has reinvented the razor blade, the bonded blade, bonded permanently at the precise shaving angle and exposure. But don't do it this way. Use the handle that comes with it. It's even easier. Safer, too. The Wilkinson Bonded Shaving System. It makes shaving easy.
Joe Namath has completed 4 of 6 for 80 yards. Cliff McLean, 42. Pretty good pass receivers come in. Emerson Boozer, 32, has gone out. It is 2nd down and 9. Jim White is all right. He got up and is standing along the sidelines now, and he'll be back in action. Without their top 2 running backs, who had such a great day against the Pats last time, there's a pass off the fingertips of Maynard. Maynard right, Bell left. Namath looking at his kick is perfect, and we've been favored by more than 2 touchdowns, but the New England Patriots are hanging in there And it is 3-3 as we prepare to begin the second quarter.
Performance. What kind of performance do you want from your gasoline? Quick starts, good mileage, or cleansing action? You get all three at Phillips 66. 3 for the money performance in Phillips great gasoline. Get 3 for the money performance at Phillips 66.
At Phillips 66, it's performance that counts.
We'd like you to come along with us to see the brightest, sharpest color picture General Electric has ever put into big screen television. With GE's unique 100% solid-state modular system that runs cooler for better performance, longer life, easier servicing. General Electric Color TV for 1973.
If you want to be an athlete, you can't use drugs. If you want to be a doctor, you can't...
John Morris of the New England Patriots is never too busy to help an organization called Pro Speak Out, which is devoted to combating drug abuse and fostering drug education.
This is just one of many ways that you can help in your own community. If you'd like to help, write volunteer, Washington, D.C., 20013. What we need, money can't buy. We need you. National Center for Voluntary Action.
The preceding announcement was made on behalf of the National Football League from the 29 of New England. They've got it 1st and 10 as we begin the second quarter. Rucker comes to the left, Bataha right, and Garrett at the moment is flanked to the right. Lone setback is Ashton. Plunkett, look.
His pass. Bataha had Sowell's feet at about 3 steps. 50 Red Dogs already in the game.
Mainers, who's having a great afternoon, is wide right. Fell to the left. Third down 9. A safety blitz is on again, and Eddie Bell's got the football, and Bolden finally throws him down. The Jets are moving. Namath looking for Bell, down and out. He steps around Bolden, who finally catches up to him, and now the ball is lost, but the Jets pick it up. Castor looks like recovered it.
Kyle, here it is again. Namath throwing on the quick little turnout to Bell. Bell anticipating Bolton overshooting him there, cutting back to the inside, then trying to squeeze away here. 88, Rich Castor, the man of the moment. And
second down 10. Namath looking for Castor. Flag is down. And Namath has got his helmet off. I've never seen Joe do that. He ripped his helmet off and aimed for the official. Namath completely lost his cool. Holding has charged the initial signal against the Patriots, which should make it touchdown the Jets.
And I think what they might have called was a linebacker interfering with one of the receivers going downfield before the ball was even thrown, or I should say before it was caught. Leading behind is pulling guard and diving over number 29. Rookie.
Flag is down, but the Pats are running off the field. And the penalty is offside against the New England Pats, and of course they reject that. So 11:27 to go. It's 10-3, New York.
You fought with the sea and rolled with its punches for 6 long weeks and won. This time the prize is pretty special. Tahiti during festival.
lifetime of living, packed into 2 weeks. And why not? Life's a one-time thing. Nobody gets a second chance to live it. So you look for gusto where you find it, even in your beer. Seems that Schlitz is always one port ahead, one taste closer to home. Life is too short to settle for less. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Plunkett now gets it away, and it is caught. High kick, fair Sopless, fair catch at the 36. 1st and 10 for the Jets right there.
Jets take over, 1st and 10 from the 35.
At Shea Stadium in New York, before capacity crowd, we've got a 10-3 ball game. New York leads.
There's a curious dimension where sound and time exist together, where sound is suspended in time. This place is found in a tape recorder, inside a cassette deck, a car stereo player, and a pocket cassette recorder. A small device yet incredibly faithful, magically priced at $79.95. You can hear these sounds again and again. They're found at the end of a singular journey to a nearby place called Radio Shack.
Radios, stereos, recorders, everything in sound.
What do people see in Hager knit slacks?
They see me, Ace McGraw. Some say I fly by the seat of my pants, but look, you see any wrinkles? You bet your sweet biplane you don't. These comfortable Hager knit slacks stay looking great, and they're just 14 to 25 bucks. The guys all wear Hager knits. Right, guys? Right.
Hager, the slacks people. We make everybody look good.
Down to the second quarter. Lead at halftime over the New England Patriots by the score of 17-3.
This is Chrysler Plymouth's new styling center. And this is the new 1973 Plymouth Fury. Isn't it beautiful? And part of the beauty of it is the way they put the engine together. In a week's time, 15,000 V8s go through here, and they test every one of them with these. They're called engine function testers, and they have electronic sensors. Nobody else has them. These electronic gizmos find things wrong that people don't find, and they find them before they ever put the engine in the car. That's the kind of thing that makes the 73 Fury run better inside while it looks better outside. Isn't that the kind of car we've all been looking for?
Plymouth Fury. Extra care in engineering. It makes a difference.
Magnavox introduces the only modular solid-state color TV that automatically adjusts its picture to changes in room light. The Videomatic eye actually sees the light change and signals the control module to compensate for the change. So what you see is the most consistently color-right picture possible. Total automatic color with exclusive Videomatic is what makes Magnavox the most totally automatic color TV in the world. Total automatic color with Videomatic. Magnavox gives you more.
Well, we're looking on the halftime activities in just a moment, but now we pause for station identification.
It's Up, Up, and Away for High Flying Spy, a new Disney adventure tonight.
Welcome to United's Friendship Island. More flights to Hawaii than anybody. And every Honolulu flight a 747 with 3 lounges where you can sip some and smile some and make some happy talk. You eat Trader Vic Polynesian goodness only on United. Fly the friendly skies of United. Your land is our land.
Come here, son. Yeah, Coach Eubank? You didn't use your head on that play. Let's sharpen up your strategy a little.
The name of the game is Monday Night Football, new from Aurora. So challenging, you could train on it. It's a total football game with tricky, intricate strategies programmed on computer cards. You put your cards in the slot, and the game computer shows you how you did.
Good call.
Monday Night Football from Aurora. So challenging, you could train on it.
about Ron Axe on a red dog from that side. 51, you'll see him coming in. 51. And that just opened it all the way for Boozer. 41 Carwell just coming in.
Flags go down. The kick is good. And the Pats are offside, and of course that is refused. So it's 24-3 with 6:09 to go in the third quarter. The Jets lead the Pats.
Let's lay it all out there about radial tires. You've heard they give you quicker steering, better traction on wet or dry pavement, better gas mileage than conventional tires, and 40,000 miles or more in normal use. And maybe you've heard that you have to pay for this performance in some radials with a little rougher ride. Not with Firestone. The new Radial V1 was designed to give you the advantages of a radial and a comfortable ride. To prove it, put the Radial V1s on your car. Drive them for 7 days. If you don't like the way they handle or ride, Firestone will take back the Radial V1s, put your old tires on again, and refund your money. Any tire that could last for 40,000 miles ought to be one you'll enjoy riding on that long. The 40,000-mile Radial V1, another people tire from Firestone.
Bob Greasy doesn't wear the comfort shirt from Sears when he works, but he could.
Sears started with an easy-to-wear blend of Celanese Portrao polyester and cotton. Added an extra comfortable collar, Sears durable primer-pressed fabric, and stylish solid stripes and patterns that look great with Sears go-together ties.
The comfort shirt. You won't want to wear it all the time, but you could. The comfort shirt and all that goes with it at Sears, the men's store.
Well, we make, on the average, between 20 and 35 long-distance calls a day. The customer feels that we care enough to talk directly with him. On some calls, I check the wallpaper itself. When we need an answer, we need it that minute. And this cannot be done by letter or telegram. Long distance fits into our giving good service. On the phone, we get immediate results.
Catch PSA's 7 o'clock flight between Los Angeles and San Francisco. But there's another smokeless flight at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. and every hour on the hour until 9 p.m. Do you want to go places? Then get up early, keep smiling, and above all, buy a ticket. Then you too can earn a place in our sky.
PSA gives you a
Nothing you've ever driven will prepare you for Mazda's performance. Mazda's rotary engine delivers acceleration like a slingshot, yet it runs in eerie silence at speeds that would make a piston engine scream. If you want this kind of performance, there's only one place to get it. Mazda, the only rotary engine car in America.
Only Mazda has the rotary engine. Look for your dealer in the yellow pages. KNXT Channel 2.
The NFL Today. Sponsored by State Farm Mutual. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Radio Shack. Over 1,600 stores. The nationwide supermarket of sound. And by AC Spark Plug. AC keeps you going when the going's tough.
Hello, Jack Whitaker and Pat Summerall in CBS Control. And as we all know, for all the skill and strategy in football, and really in life, too, luck is pretty important, and 2 football teams last Sunday were kind of lucky.
Kind of lucky, I think, is putting it mildly, Jack. The Eagles won their first game on a rebound from Kansas City.
And the Jets were able to pull out the game against Baltimore on a rebound, so to speak. 2 deflected passes. Weeb Eubank, the Jet coach, has always said he'd rather be lucky than good, and he got some of it last week. Joe Namath, by his own admission, just put up a hope shot in the direction of Eddie Bell. It bounced off Colt cornerback Charlie Stukes as Jerry Logan was waiting to make an interception into the hands of Eddie Bell. And Eddie, from the time he put his hands on the ball, was able to get right on in the end zone. Here it is right here. Off Stukes right there. And Bell said he thought something like this might happen, which is probably the strangest thing about the whole thing to me, that he'd be that much in possession of his thinking facilities at a time like that.
The other one, the Eagles, watch Pete Lisk now as he throws for Toe James's back. And James Marcellus and Mike Sensenbaugh collide, and the ball is kicked into the arms of Ben Hawkins. Another incredible touchdown, and the Eagles, of course, went on to win that game.
They say, of course, that luck is involved in something like that, but those are 2 guys, Bell and Ben Hawkins, who always seem to be around the ball, regardless of where it comes up.
Having watched the Bell play a couple of times, what impressed me was Eddie never broke stride.
As he said, I was just thinking that something like this might happen, and it did.
Well, we'll be back to take a preview of today's games as the NFL continues in just a moment.
You've got to be tough to be a land leveler, turning blistering desert into lush farmland. Your equipment's got to be tough, too. That's why Merle Stevens protects his engines with AC oil filters. AC filters have a tough polyester-reinforced filtering material. They're built tough, tested tough, to stand up to high oil temperatures and pressures, so they keep filtering efficiently when the going's tough. Help protect vital engine parts from choking dust and dirt like this. You may never torture your engine the way Merle does, but tough polyester-reinforced filtering material is built into the AC oil filters that go into your car to help minimize engine and bearing wear. Next oil change, insist on the tough one, an AC oil filter. Original equipment on GM cars. Available for all American and most imported cars.
AC keeps you going when the going's tough.
Well, there's another game with Super Bowl implications today, and that would be the Los Angeles Rams against the Oakland Raiders at Oakland. And I don't know, Pat, what do we know about Roman Gabriel? We know he's not at full strength, and they're going to need him.
Well, as you know, and I'm sure all of our listeners and fans know, he's been taking acupuncture treatments. He has a very bad right elbow. The last time I saw him, and I think as evidenced by what I saw of last week's game against Cincinnati, he can't throw the ball effectively more than 15 or 18 yards. That's got to affect the way that Oakland plays defense against him.
Well, of course, he's got a couple of good runners there, but they were so really lucky or fortunate to get by Cincinnati the week before, and this will be a big game. They're going to know what San Francisco and Atlanta did before they play.
Right, they'll have that advantage because that game is in Atlanta, and that, of course, has a great bearing. If Atlanta wins, they've got to win to hold first place. If San Francisco wins, well, they'll still be in first place, but only a half game in front of the 49ers, so... Again, as you pointed out, they'll have the advantage of knowing because that game will be over by the time they start.
And how about Al Davis's conglomeration of the Oakland Raiders?
Well, Darryl LaMonica has been starting at quarterback. He suffered a back injury last week, and the snake, Kenny Stabler, came in and did a fine job, as I understand. Oakland's got some great material. Outstanding receivers in Fred Biletnikoff and Raymond Chester, the tight end. The new rookie from Villanova, Mike Ciani, who might be Rookie of the Year. So he's got a lot of talent to work with.
We got Bob Brown, too, there on the Oakland team, who used to be with the Los Angeles Rams and would certainly like to knock them over.
Well, that's got to make some difference, too. Marv Hubbard is having a fine year at running back for them, too. It's a mystery, again, as there are a lot of teams. A lot of people don't know what's wrong this year. Oakland is one of those teams. They have not played good football as yet.
Well, we'll see. An interesting game. The Los Angeles Rams against the Oakland Raiders. Pat, you know, something that's always intrigued me, the helmets being worn today. I put one on once, and it's so hard to get on, and you feel like if you have claustrophobia, look out. How much have they changed in the last few years?
They really haven't changed too much. They have the new water helmets now, the ones that are supposed to absorb even more than the conventional type, one that after you put it on, they fill it with sort of a cushion of water, which fits very close to your head. Once you put it on, once you fill it with that water, you don't take it off for 3 or 4 hours. Your head gets so hot you can't believe it, but it does furnish a little bit better, more thorough protection, I think.
Did you like to take your helmet off when you got to the sideline?
Always did. To me, it was one of the most confining things, as you say, that I have ever experienced. It just feels like you've got a big box on your head, and I couldn't wait to get out of it.
Well, we have a lovely feature coming up on helmets, from the days of the soft leather ones to the water beds they're wearing now, and that'll be coming up as the NFL Today continues in just a moment.
$7.99. That's the low price of this high-quality Black & Decker quarter-inch drill. $15.99 buys you this variable speed drill that matches the speed to the job, even drive screws. $24.99 buys reversing action as well as variable speed. And $74.99 gives you cordless power wherever you need it. If you've got a job for a drill, Black & Decker has a drill for the job for less than you'd expect.
It's Mattel's new talking football game. You're the quarterback.
Got you that time.
You pick the play. Your opponent sets the defense. And you hear what happens.
8 yards back, a fumble.
Oh, no.
Lots of strategy, competition, and game planning like in big-time pro football.
Flanker has it. Touchdown.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
New talking football with 96 talking action plays from Mattel.
In the course of a season, many a fan will lose his head over pro football. But consider the player whose head is not properly buttoned down. Although some players seem to relish playing the game bareheaded, it has become custom in the NFL to wear the crowning piece of armor plate, which, despite its many uses, forms, and styles, has become, in today's game of pro football, an unquestioned necessity. No matter how a player wears his helmet, it is a written law that he must wear one, at least for the start of every play. The modern-day headgear has come down to us through many stages of evolution, from soft leather to reinforced leather, through practically every material and combination of materials known to man, through every conceivable shape, color, and design, to the modern and ultra-modern hard plastic models we know and accept as commonplace in today's world of professional football. Through various types of testing, newer and better helmets and accessories are constantly being developed and approved for use on the football field. Of course, no simple test or combination of tests can compare with what the eventual owner of the helmet must endure on the fields of the National Football League. Most modern-day professional football helmets begin their existence when they arrive at the Riddell Company plant in Chicago. At first, they are nothing more than plain shells, empty and unadorned. Before anything at all is done to develop these shells into professional helmets, each batch is tested for strength. After the initial strength testing, a series of specially designed machines and skilled workers transform the plain shells, step by step, into the professional helmets we all know and recognize. Meanwhile, other machines are working on the insides of the helmets. Finally, the new helmets are ready to be shipped to every team in the NFL, where they will fulfill their ultimate purpose. On the playing fields, with live professional football players inside.
You're gonna goof off, kid. First you find a good out-of-the-way spot. Then equipment becomes important. What do you mean? Get your work clothes. Look at mine. Dickies. The pants are pre-tailored, so they don't interfere with my relaxation. The whole thing's made with Celanese Fortrell. So after I sleep in it, it will look like I slept in it.
Hey, you think I'll make it?
Dude, you got a lot to learn.
There's a curious dimension where sound and time exist together, where sound is suspended in time. This place is found in a tape recorder, inside a cassette deck, a car stereo player, in a pocket cassette recorder. A small device, yet incredibly faithful, magically priced at $79.95. You can hear these sounds again and again. They're found at the end of a singular journey to a nearby place called Radio Shack.
Radios, stereos, recorders, everything in sound.
I'm Tom Brookshire, CBS football analyst. You know, professional quarterbacks are like classic automobiles. They age beautifully, but quarterbacks do run out of style. The great drop-back passers of the 50s and 60s. People like Norm Van Brocklin, the stumpy Dutchman who never ran a lick and never wanted to, but he could throw from the pocket for both the Rams and the Eagles. The great Y.E. Tittle, when he reached New York, he found Schaffner and Gifford and great receivers, and he threw for long gainers. This is the inflappable Bobby Lane. At Texas University, he was a tailback and ran all the time. Not with Pittsburgh and Detroit, he threw from the pocket and threw well for years and years. And the leader of the Green Bay juggernaut under Vince Lombardi, that would be Bart Starr. Occasionally he did run, but only when the pass protection broke down around him. And finally last week, Johnny Unitas sat on the bench as a young scrambler took over as quarterback for the Baltimore Colts. As the defense has caught up with the old quarterbacks that did set up in the pocket, young quarterbacks evolved to change it. People like Roman Gabriel, strong as an oak. Just a fair passer when he first came up, but a very strong runner. And Fran Tarkington, the dandy. He could run with it or he could pass it. Sometimes he preferred to run with it. And the list goes on now of people like Pastorini and Bradshaw and Jimmy Plunkett. Very strong and able guys like Greg Landry, a superb passer with Detroit, but maybe a better runner. And how about Bobby Douglas, the runaway Chicago truck, who throws finesse aside, both passing and running, but he's effective. There are only about 4 of the old classics left in football. New York City has 2 of them in Joe Namath and Norm Snead. Earl Morrow with the Miami Dolphins and John Brody on the West Coast with San Francisco. With the collegiate football powers now going for the power eye and the wishbones, you won't see many lean quarterbacks come into pro ball from them either. We like the running quarterback, we appreciate his ability, but don't forget the old-timers. You may be seeing them for the last time.
America's good times have always been made better by Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime girl.
It's as true today as it was when the music hall was the place and Pabst was the beer. Today's Blue Ribbon is filled with good old-time flavor because it's still brewed the old-time premium way. So make your good times even better with Pabst Blue Ribbon beer from the first of the great Milwaukee brewers.
Let's take an imaginary voyage through an engine cooling system protected with Dow Super Coolant Antifreeze. There's our proven anti-leak ingredient going to fight a radiator leak.
Here in the engine block, Dow protects against freeze-ups in winter and overheating in summer. Dow Super Coolant Antifreeze for 12-month protection. Dow makes a science out of caring for your car. Dow.
Everybody, I'm Gil Stratton here at CBS Control at the Oakland Coliseum, and with me is the assistant to the owner of the Los Angeles Rams, Don Klosterman. And Don, I think that you're one of the few guys who has been through the American Football League, the American Conference, and now back home to the National Conference.
Well, first of all, Gil, it's nice to be back home in Los Angeles, but you're right, I did start with the American Football League during its first year, and I think that the eminence, the breakthrough of defenses have a lot to do with the American Football League. Early in the American Football League, we used to use a lot of man coverage. That means man-for-man coverage. And we had a prolific amount of scoring in the early days. And I think because of that, the American Football League went to a zone-type defense, which you now find, I would say, almost 95% of the National Football League teams using today. But the reason for that, as I say, was we didn't have the big linemen that the National Football League had in those days, so we had to camouflage our coverages and defenses, and therefore the involvement, we evolved rather into the zone-type defense. Now I think that everybody in pro football uses it. The last two to come over to it were the Oakland Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys. So it really tries to stop the home run, and anyway, that's basically how the American Football League got started as far as the defenses go. But the American Football Conference, as compared to the National, I think is fairly similar. I think that we really have a competitive situation now in the National Football League, and it's so great to be back to Los Angeles to be a member of the National Football Conference. So I think that all of pro football is so competitive now that breaks make a great deal of difference, also injuries.
I think perhaps when you first went into the American League, did you really think that it was going to survive, or was it just one of those things that you were hoping?
Well, the first 2 years I really had some doubts, some skepticism as to whether or not we would prevail. But I think when we got the television contract, the famous one from NBC, that I felt at that time that we were here to stay.
That was the breakthrough then?
Absolutely, in my judgment.
Speaking of defense, as you were a moment or two ago, I think that the American League was the league that started the so-called bump and run.
Yes, we featured that a great deal. Also, we used a lot of safety blitzing and a lot of variances of defenses because we didn't have the quality-type linemen overall that the National Football League had. The National Football League used to use what we called a vanilla defense, a 4-3 and just cover man for man. But because of a lack of sufficient big, strong defensive linemen, we had to camouflage a great deal, and therefore some of these new defenses, which you now see a great deal of, really evolved from the American Football League.
It appears that the draft is certainly evening things up the way it's intended.
Yes, it has, and some of the great thing is to see some of the expansion teams, the weaker teams in the American Football League that merged into the National Football League, playing good football and upsetting good football teams.
Your old team that you left to come with the Rams, the Baltimore Colts, they've had some problems this year. In your opinion, what's the reason?
Well, I think that they just had too many major changes. Of course, when Carroll Rosenblum left the team, I think it left a great void because Carroll is very involved and the players were very close to him. And I think that he had a lot to do with the overall attitude of the team. We were not a team that had a lot of ups and downs. We played pretty consistent football. And I think with the new ownership that there wasn't the involvement. The players didn't feel that it was no longer the family atmosphere that we had in Baltimore. So I think that's one of the major reasons. Also, I don't think you bench Johnny Unitas because he is great. He's had a very good year. But I guess they're thinking of the future and have just forgotten all about the present.
I was wondering, for Ram fans, of course, the Rams are now in first place in the Western Division of the NFC. They have the third best record in the entire National Football League. Do you have any changes contemplated for the future that you could share with the fans?
Well, I don't think so. I feel that we do have a very, very fine overall football team. I think we certainly have to be aware of our quarterback situation for the future. We have Roman and of course, Roman Gabriel. Everybody knows that, and Pete Beathard. But I think we have to think about the future in this next draft, or either through trades or through the draft. We're going to have to come up with a young quarterback.
So you'd say that the first need then for the future would be a quarterback?
Yes, in my judgment.
Anybody you can tell us about?
Well, nobody in particular. There are about 5 good quarterbacks coming up in this year's draft, and we hope to have an opportunity to either, as I say, get one through the draft or else trade for a young quarterback in football.
Don Klosterman, thank you very, very much for being with us. It's great to have you back in Los Angeles.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Don Klosterman, ladies and gentlemen, the assistant to the owner of the Los Angeles Rams. And we'll be back with the latest scores as the NFL Today continues.
Whenever you're driving and wherever you're bound, on freeways and byways, the whole country round, you'll feel better knowing anytime, anywhere, that like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Isamu Kaneshigi makes a career out of helping people in Waipahu, Hawaii. When your car is insured by State Farm Mutual, he's one of 10,000 State Farm agents everywhere who provide prompt personal service. If you live in Waipahu and run into trouble, he can help. If you run into trouble somewhere else, just check the yellow pages.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm is there.
That said negotiations would continue as usual on Thursday, and the communists say the Nixon administration will be responsible for continuing the war past November 1st, when the ceasefire would have taken effect. It looks like none of Canada's 4 major parties has emerged from Monday's federal elections with a parliamentary majority, and the Liberal Party, which dominated for the last 4 years under Prime Minister Trudeau, lost more than 40 seats. The heat of the presidential campaign is becoming more personal.
2 yards out. Former Laker coach Butch Van was fired as coach of the Phoenix Suns Monday.
Is it just a patch of dry skin? Ask your doctor. It could be the heartbreak of psoriasis. Try Tegrin Cream. Its medication penetrates into